stars of the team so that they can't carry the game by themselves. However, when you look at Curse, all of the lanes, none of them really stand out as huge stars that are going to solo carry this game. Okay. They're all very strong and sort of standard play. So Curse actually may have a good response to Dignitas strategy here, as they're a very balanced team and they can use many different strategies. They just haven't been able to make any of those different strategies work in game yet.
Right, and we can see how things change from the patches to what's being played. Jax, Yasuo, and Kassadin were the bans that Dig had last time being on the blue or the red side, I should say, but they are going to let that Yasuo through, something Voyboy has been using quite a bit lately as Lulu's locked in for him.
Yeah, a lot of mid lane get through here because so much focus on the jungle here. Look at this, 4 junglers banned out, and these are sort of the new top 4 junglers for everybody with the changes to Kha'Zix. He has not been killed, but he may not be on this top level plateau anymore, along with the rest of these early game junglers that also provide utility later in the game. So with so much changing in the jungle, like we said, there's even more pressure on Dominate, on Crumbs this time around to go deeper into that champion pool. We can see things like Nocturne, like Vi come back, or the Pantheon that we talked about for Dominate.
Just as in the last time these two teams faced off, Curse bans Lee Sin against Crumbs. Now even more so with the Sightstone that all the junglers have been grabbing. That kind of helps. The Elise banned out as well. Jax and Braum picked up. Braum's keeping himself in every game today.
Yeah, very, very popular pick.
Nocturne.
Really, what Braum affords you is a tank from somewhere on the map that does not take up a spot in your top lane or from your jungle. So it affords them the ability to run a damaged top laner like this for Quas, to have him try and carry the game with Jax. Now, as we talked about before, with Curse being very balanced, having a Jax on your team is always a target on your back. So Dignitas will definitely be looking to punish that Jax and keep him down.
Let's see what Quas can do. He's 0-3-1 on a Jax versus LMQ back in week 1. We'll see how it happens. It comes out for him this week. We see that Nocturne picked up as well for Crumbs. Going to be pretty sweet with Shifter ults and the Wild Growth coming in to keep him alive on dive fights. And we see Ziggs being played quite a bit this week if he gets locked in again.
Not only is Nocturne, right under this threshold of top 4 junglers right now, but he's a great pick in this scenario when they're already facing a split push team from Curse because Jax has been locked in. Using the vision denial of Nocturne to its fullest effect is really the sign of the great Nocturnes rather than just the good Nocturnes. Crumbs will leave his paranoia up for a long time before using it to close a gap, thereby putting the pressure on Curse to actually communicate more effectively.
We see Caitlyn locked in for Cop. His last play was 6-0-8 versus EG, and Rango Knife Cat for Dominate coming in here. Looks like we'll get another Rengar play as it's Shifter who locks in the Ziggs. Very scary in the hands of Shifter.
Interesting here. Adding the Rengar into the team that already has Jax. A lot of melee focus here with them plus Braum. They could easily dive very deep into a team. However, the answer from Dignitas is locking in Ziggs. It's so hard for these melees to get through the minefield. And Ziggs also provides them a lot of wave clear. So if this 4-man squad with their Caitlyn, who really thrives on pushing, tries to shove down in a separate lane from Jax, then Ziggs does a lot to stop this strategy from Curse.
Very interested to see once the ganks start coming out at level 6, how they're kind of countered. Will Crumbs always activate if Dominate jumping on something, or will be one following the other? It'll be a very interesting play style. Kale has seen quite a bit of play, also seeing some top lane play lately, but it looks like it will go to the hands of Voyboy. He played that back in week 1, actually to a loss of a 1-3-3, so we'll see how he can do here. That was against LMQ, now against Shifter. It's not going to be any easier.
All right, so yeah, a lot of late game damage threats here from Curse. We'll see if they can actually pull off the mid game though. Cloud9 tried to use the jungle Rengar and weren't able to have successful late game assassinations. Now, jungle Rengar, he's going to be trying to assassinate people through Thresh, through Ziggs, and through Lulu. That is a lot of anti-dive.
All right, before the game gets afoot, let's see who you think will be smashing that Nexus. According to LOLesports.com, 87% of you have left-clicked the Dignitas thumbs up.
Now your job's not done yet. Keep sending your predictions throughout the entire game to @LL Esports and use that hashtag DIGWin or CRSWin.
It'd be a pretty tight game here. Curse trying to really put their foot down in this league, picking up Xpecial at the beginning of the season, have actually gone through quite a few all-star supports in that position and kind of showing not lackluster results, but not the results that they wanted. There have been the plays. Cop has definitely been able to have a revolving door support and still stay as a pretty good AD carry. So they've almost made things hard for themselves, but still stayed as a top caliber team.
Yeah, Cop's very comfortable on Caitlyn too. It's right up his alley with the play style as well as the skin
608
theme.
game. Yep.
But yeah, Cop, he likes to stand in the back line, put out the damage from a safe distance. Caitlyn will allow him to do that. This team though, Caitlyn's really the only one that's trying to shove towers early, and we're really going to be looking at this Braum and Rengar combo because it's a very deadly combo. If Rengar hits level 6 and goes to a Braum lane, it's so hard for you to get away from that gank.
So you're saying he's going to go to level 6 and go to Braum lane?
It's a strong gank. Good combo.
We'll see what happens. We're about to jump onto the Rift. Game 3 of the day. It's been pretty damn exciting. Just got out of a base race. We'll see what Dig has for Curse as we jump onto the Rift. The fans are happy to jump back into the action.
All right, let's see here. We've got a Targons for Braum. Thresh has actually not opted for that. A lot of Thresh players really do like it, but he's going for the super early Sightstone. Does not want to get this Curse team let them have any vision advantage, because if they can shut down the moves early from Curse and keep up the pressure, then it'll be huge for Dignitas. Rengar is a very, very snowbally champion. Really relies on getting kills and assists to stack up his Bone Tooth item. That's now Hybrid Trinket as well. That's where he gets a lot of the power and he can snowball out of control. But if he doesn't get these assassinations off, then he becomes a very ineffective champion, especially going versus a Dignitas team that has this much anti-dive. If Dominate does not get ahead, he's going to have a rough time.
Curse going quite strong on this invade, as will be Dig most likely doing the same thing on the other side. Slowly but surely, we'll get the late wards, or deep wards placed, I should say. And they're going to go back for safety. Might see standard lanes here as well. We saw a bit of that setup, but teams are still milling about, so no really telling.
Yeah, the unstandard thing here is a Void Boy with a Ghost and Flash on Kale instead of something like the Heal or Exhaust even. Interesting pickup for him. More mobility. They actually have 2 options for split pushing. Whichever solo lane gets ahead could be a strong split pushing threat. If Void Boy goes with the now standard attack speed Rune on Hurricane build. I have to see which one they focus. Buff trades here to start it out. Pretty deep vision from both sides, and they do get the 2 versus 2 down bottom. That ward paying off.
You think we see more 2v2s since the jungle experience kind of went away? Junglers will be able to gank the lanes more instead of sharing a 2v1 with somebody? Or 2v none, I
So the
say.
jungle experience was not going to have an effect early game. So I don't think that's the reason for it. But there have been more of these standard 2v2 lanes with people actually seeking out the matchups here. Lulu early on is going to like to try and keep Jax down by herself. They actually don't need a duo lane up there to do it. However, with a jungle like Rengar, there's a lot of damage there. Jax can set up Rengar ganks as well. So Lulu has to worry about tower dives because early on she's squishy before getting her ultimate, and any kind of assisted damage. But he does have that range advantage over Quas, which he can try and utilize.
And a few auto attacks in here and there.
Oh, here comes Dominate though.
First time Zion Spartan is on Lulu. He did go for a game of Kale in week 3 versus CLG, but this will be his first time trying to do his hands with picks in the top lane. Dominate is just waiting patiently. You see Crumbs backing right now, so they won't be able to activate too much. Dominate hits it, but no close on that kill.
Yeah, safe play here from Zion. That is going to afford Quas early game farm though. He's going to have a pretty strong early game here actually. Lulu doesn't get to press him very much. They did burn his flash, So Zion going to have to play even more passively now. That's the setup, though, for the gank that we talked about. Quas, counter-strike coming in, leap strike to try and get that one going. Again, though, tension from both teams. Crum said he likes to attack the strong points of his enemies, not the weak points, so he goes up to the top lane as well.
Yeah, that's something that I think everybody saw when Dignitas picked up Zion and Shifter, is that Crumbs' job became more or less controlling everything in the game and really getting behind Zion and Shifter to get the game going.
Man, look at this massive CS, though, there for Quas. Not only is he already ahead, he's got a huge wave to work with here. So a great early game for Quas, having started full consumables with the flask. Yeah, the only problem is actually getting those.
Getting a little antsy. Oh, that's all right. You got most of them. 27-18, still has teleport on the back, and it's perfectly positioned for him as he comes back to lane as well. You're going to see 2 rings being picked up by Zion. Crumbs yet to make a gank in the jungle yet, but they've been more for sure ganks, and really something comes out of it when Crumbs does it. So make me patiently waiting for that one to come around.
Yeah, now the thing I always like to watch out for with standard lanes is the respawn of second buffs. And Crumbs especially is a jungler that really likes to prey on his opponent's second spawn of their buffs, going for the 7-minute invade mark to try and either catch out one of the laners going to get the buff or actually just straight up counter jungling his opponent. So, you know, as of right now, Crumbs has just been hard farming and has not gotten his characteristic early vision down, but we may see that change as we do head up towards the second buff spawns here. With Nocturne, though, he's just trying to hard farm, get to that level 6, so he can either counter I Will Dominate Skank or get one off of his own.
Not seeing too many early dragons with the regular matchup either, so both teams are going to be having a good fight over that instead of just kind of giving one up for a lane push. Zion Spartan finally gets the minion wave back in his favor, but he had 18 when he got back to lane, so he's only gotten 7 since the entire, I believe, 2-wave push to the turret so far. You can see how Quas feels sure to go in and put some wards down. He's going to start getting to work on that lane.
Yeah, and Pinkwood is going to be able to clear out Zion's vision as well.
So much control over that top lane already. Wow, the piercing light doing quite a bit of damage. Cutie Pie could not connect with the passive, but Special already kind of giving up a little bit of damage with that Braum play.
Yeah, Braum is a very strong support, and we've seen a lot of very nice cannon execution right there, by the way. A lot of emphasis has been put on Braum lately, but still, so many teams are rather first picking Lucian for the bottom lane than first picking Braum. The AD carry, even more important than the support, just because Lucian is so strong, and you know he's definitely a tier above the rest. Maybe up there, Twitch could be up there, but he is enough to have control over a Braum lane. Now the problem is, if you ever see a Lucian plus Braum lane, that's the time to get really scared.
He's great against. Can shoot piercing light through with a little bit of damage and get that ardent blaze just behind over his shoulders.
Yeah.
Works
Well, the double shots, you just instantly proc that stun pretty much.
Yep.
Let's see if Crumbs can make a dive happen here. Looks like some counter juggling. There it is. That second buff spawn. Crumbs at it again.
He gets himself into position. You can see the Lantern throw to Cutie Pie and Kiwi Kid as they make their way over there. ASAP. It is a smite down for Crumbs. It looks like it's going to go over to Voyboy in the mid lane. Nice tilt over Peacemaker as well. And they thwart that right away.
Not only did Dignitas not steal the buff, but they also weren't even able to deny it from Voyboy. So a huge win for Curse right there. And the classic Crumbs re-invade for second buff does not pan out for them this time. It's going to really help Voyboy out in this matchup versus Shifter. Kale's biggest strengths are just shoving a lane really, really quickly. Now that he doesn't have to worry about mana at all, he can also go for trades. He doesn't just have to shove because he can also use his heal to spam it after he trades with Shifter and get right back up to full life.
Doesn't shut down Shifter too much in the way of Braum. He can still huff a Mega Inferno bomb over to either side lane, but he's not going to be having fun, like you said. Ward getting cleared out. Voyboy is going to be able to just heal this back up. Nice heal. Puts him right back up 90%. And Rengar right on the backside.
Yeah, still level 6 Rengar here. Now this is really the very important choice for Curse. Curse have so many options for getting Snowball and going for for their team. They want to get a Kale going early, but they also want Jax fed. And then he's got the option of the very strong Braum lane gank. So really, Curse's first gank with this level 6 Rengar is going to tell a lot about where they actually want to play off in this game. As of right now, though, Quasa's already had a strong early game, and he's really off to a great start with Jax, so he doesn't need a lot of help. He's actually even gone with the burst damage of an early Sheen. So just the kill pressure of Quas by himself up there on Zion kind of makes Zion play more passive and keep on just trading farm with Quas here, which is exactly what Curse wants.
And it seems like they're really putting a lot of consideration in that kill pressure, as you say. Voidboy maxing heal for himself, dominating Quas into tight fight positions, and with intervention, they're safe.
All right, no wards for Zion. He's pushed up in the lane. Level 6 dominate. This is really, really good for Curse if he can pull it off. But look at Crumbs. He's got this jungler sense, even with no wards, heading up top as well. He's looking for the counter gank here, Crumbs. He knows that Zion is a really juicy target for Isle Dominate, and they go for the dive.
They go for the hit. He is not going to be on the outside. No, he throws down the ult, goes right for Zion. He throws down the wild growth. The turret shot comes in. The 1-for-1. Who's got the fight, though? Red buff to red buff, but it looks like he's going to back off of that Nocturne damage.
Yeah, very, very close trade right there. Dominate answers with the ultimate of his own. Risky tower dive for Dignitas, but they do deny a lot of minions from Quas with that big wave. So let's take a look here. There's a bunch of ranged minions. They're going to deny him. Dive in. They get the early damage. The fear barely goes off there. Zion gets one knockup. Doesn't quite get Quas, but it doesn't matter because Crumbs does have a red buff as well.
Right.
Pretty even trade there. Just the wave lost for Quas.
First Bloods are really putting people on the edge. We saw last game, it was pretty much just Helios' death for First Blood. These teams want that first gold. The edge in the lane means so much. Kiwi Kid, pretty aggressive here against Xpecial as they try to get a little bit of HP coverage in the lane.
Yeah, both 80 carries with the early BF sword, so they're fairly even on trading right now. Cop really looking to get that headshot off, but doesn't quite. Now, the important thing to note about the top lane trade there is that both kills went to the junglers. And in this case, both junglers are melee carries who really want to get going early in snowballing. As we said, especially Rengar, getting those bone tooth stacks, extremely important for him. Now we're going to see who can actually play the melee carry jungler better. Dominate and Crumbs off to a very even start.
Back and forth in the top lane. Looks like we could get another gank up there as well, but Xpecial, he gets the terror down. He's going to be feared out, throws his ult down for Braum. And Cop, he is going to be safe just on the edge as it burns away. The Duskbringer, not enough to clean it up with the Lizard Elder.
They just got a whole lot of bottom lane
dear.
pressure. Oh, what a guess!
Oh my word! Cop squeezes tight and he stays alive.
Health pot ticking for him. Now, what I was going to say, though, they have complete control of the bottom lane because it was a successful gank, even though they don't come out with a kill. Really good trade for them. So much damage put down to the duo lane that they are rewarded with that dragon. And Crumbs with the quicker move rather than dominate. Going for the next gank after the top lane fight much quicker. And he, taking that initiative really affords Dignitas that extra objective right now.
Great play coming in from Zion Spartan, knowing he can just aggress very hard. A little short on the damage, but he is pushing Quas out of lane, and it's exactly what he needed. 19 CS down. It's been a little shaky.
All right, blue buff number 3 started up for Curse there too. Gonna try and give it over to Boy.
No one saw that.
Tooth.
Didn't miss any. 1-to-1 only in kills. Pretty low kill day with all the vision going out on the map recently. Nobody's keeping themselves safe.
I think we are seeing the effects of Quas also not going for early sustain. A lot of Jax players will go with the early Cutlass. If not, upgrading it into the Blade of the Ruin King early. Still at least getting the early lifesteal there for sustain in lane. But he's gone more for the kill pressure of the burst. Going to rush that Trinity Force first, starting with Sheen and moving into it. That's really the main thing that he does have over Zion, is the threat of a Rengar right behind him. And any time Zion has to worry about Quas coming up with a leap strike, counter strike, and having a Rengar right behind him, which he does at the moment.
definitely keeping Zion Spartan at bay in most of their effect. Oh, maybe not this time. Coming in all secretive. No pink wards, but he sees it. He's going to get hit up quite hard. Wild Growth is still waiting to come up. And wow.
I was going to try and describe how painful it is.
No,
I was going to try and describe how painful it is when that combo happens. But you really can't. You have to see it in action, and Zion just felt the full
Feel
power
it with your eyes.
of it right there. All right, question answered, though. They are getting that that Jax ahead pretty early. We'll see if Dignitas can make their answers bottom.
Dignitas always answering one after the other. They lose somebody in the top lane. They are going to seamlessly take down 2 in the bottom lane. They still got some time until a dragon comes up, but the teleport to the top helping Zion to keep himself somewhere near the CS mark. 121 up on 91, but actions all across the map kind of keeping things even.
Now, these are very, very similar junglers, not only as players, but also as champions that the players are using. You can see Crumbs with pretty much an identical play to what Eyeball Dominant just did. However, very, very key factors here for Crumbs' gank. His was down bottom where they have 2 people. So not only did they get 2 kills, they also were able to take the turret after, whereas Quas, after the kill, can't take the turret by himself because there's not a lot of damage down on it, and Dominate didn't stick around for added damage under the turret. So Dignitas, they got more kills out of their gank. They also got the objective out of their gank. Another pick!
Too special. Tries to shield himself. It's only going to be a few last shots. Very nice intervention from the backside. The bomb just missing out. Look at everything Dignitas has the chance to use if they aren't going to get a kill. This is very hard for Curse to even approach the turret.
Yeah, a lot of long-range follow-up from Dignitas if anybody does get low. Scary, scary situation for Xpecial there. He gets out alive, however, their turret goes down.
Zion Spartan realizing he has a neighbor quite close in the brush, but Quas, once he's found out, he realizes he's going to be back to the turret to farm. Doesn't want to miss any of that experience. Looks like he'll have actually quite a good time here if he wants to freeze it, but Curse needs some pressure on the map right now. Dignitas is starting to get that stranglehold.
What Curse do have going in their favor is solo lane farm. We talked about them having options for carries and late game split push.
Yeah.
Both of those guys very strong in the farm. You know, early Nashor's Suit there from Voyboy, so he'll probably be working his way into that Runon's Hurricane as the second item. Some people do opt for AP first, though, to get the extra damage. Nashor's does scale a little bit as well with AP. But yeah, it's going to be so many options there for Curse in the split pushing game. Really what they're going to have to worry about is the rest of the squad that aren't out there by themselves. It's going to be a lot up to Xpecial on Braum for the disengage. Voyboy to speed people up, and really the others to just watch their positioning. Cop is at that point in the game where Caitlyn is kind of sad, really wants a couple more items to be effective. Mid-game, not the greatest of times for him. So really he's going to have to be very careful at this stage, especially since Crumbs has shown such a propensity to gank him over and over, really targeting Cop.
Continuously crushing down, even building a brutalizer for himself at 3-0-0, feeling like he's a bit ahead of the game. Throws that in with a Ruby Crystal, so it's going to be a lot of damage coming from this Nocturne until he builds that armor up. Okay, Cutie Pie, he's safe down here, even with Kiwi Kid to walk off a bit to the side. Map control from Dignitas, it could get them into a bad situation here. There's the heal that Voyboy has been leveling up so early, and it may be just enough for them to catch it. He ran the wrong way, though. Dominate was still coming from that side, and Curse shows their ability to catch up as well.
Yeah, Kiwi Kid trying to get vision down for his team so that thing doesn't happen. However, while he's doing it, does get caught out.
Oops.
He was able to get the ward down, though, so that frees him up to type Worth in all chat. 4th blue buff spawn, though. Having Kiwi Kid just gone down, you know, Crumbs, he's edging over there. However, without that support, you really are going to have a difficult time here. Basically, what he wants to get done is try and deny it from Voyboy, but we've seen it.
Oh, whoa! How's that?
All right, so Dominate's slow to the party. Curse actually start up the blue buff too early, and they do too much damage to it before their jungler arrives. Whoa. They pay for it.
Whoa, they're right on a pink ward too. This is all the vision that Curse needs to turn something around. Crumbs taking quite a bit in the beginning. A nice calling kind of feeds to the back line.
Oh, he lets it go through!
special, but Cop threads the needle, gets himself a birthday kill there. Quas takes down the top turret with all the vision in the bottom lane and him pushing out Zion Spartan. He's having a field day up here.
Huge ups and downs for Curse fans there. He's able to come out with the miracle steal even without having their support because of Dominate going to the top side of the jungle, but then turns right back around, over-aggressive, pays for it with his life, and then back up for Curse as their top laner gets the kill. So Crumbs going super aggressive here, gets very deep, and they put a lot of focus into Braum. Braum puts up the shield, though, reducing a lot of the damage. They don't get him down. Cutie no dash left, and Crumbs has a wall right next to him, so he can't even edge further over. Already spell shield being used as well, so couldn't have no answers there. And Cop finds his mark. However, the big story, you know, while there was a lot of action around blue, Quas up top is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
He's got the finished Trinity Force. He's able to handle Zion by himself, as we just saw. And now it was a perfect timing for him to come right down for Dragon because he secured the top lane for his team. But then he gets hooked.
He's going to be able to handle quite a few people if he gets into the fight. There's a few shots right there. We still see Crumbs trying to make it in and out of the fight, but so low health after the last engage. Everybody's kind of weary.
Extremely even game here. Now, taking Dragon for 1 kill is worth it in that exchange. However, what you have to watch is what Curse will do with the extra man advantage on the field. They need to press something. They're going towards mid right now and leaving their strong Jax as split push bottom. They do get the turret in answer, so Curse again able to come out with a pretty big exchange there for themselves. Very, very close game here.
Absolutely. Both junglers ferociously feeding themselves through this one. Dominate finally getting the first 3 stacks on himself, so he gets that bit of movement speed and pushing out of combat. Always helps to stack up the Bone Tooth. Crumbs playing quite a good Nocturne, but we see him finish the Youmu's now, and how fast he went down in that last fight, kind of prioritizing all this damage. We'll see if he changes that build up now that he has that damage.
Yeah, I kind of like the route that Crumbs went, where he went with flat armor penetration early with the Ghost Blade. And it adds a lot of burst damage too, because when he jumps in, he can activate that, and it gives you a huge power spike for the duration. Since he's squishy, probably not going to be alive that long anyway. It'll be a really big benefit for him.
Output.
However, Dominate has gone the opposite route. He went with percentage-based armor penetration here, and there's no armor really built on Dignitas yet. So really the flat penetration better early, and it's going to provide Crumbs a bit more threat when he does dive in. Now later, Dominate will already have that last whisper, but we'll see what he builds next, because both of these guys, as I said, on jungler is extremely similar. Going to be looking for those melee range, the melee assassins.
Yeah, it does actually look like Boy will prioritize that ability power. As we said, he leveled that heal up, making sure everybody stays safe with the 2 killers of Quas and Dominate on the team. Already had a good intervention to keep Xpecial alive, so the fingers are warmed up for both teams right now. They've made some tight plays, and the aggression is definitely on. 4-0 and 0 for Dominate.
Quas too deep.
This could be bad for him. He has a ward to jump to over the wall. Nice break on the Terror Thread. He's going to be getting out safe. Cause a little
great
stretch.
Escape there for Quas. Not even having to blow any summoner spell. He was deep in enemy territory, no vision for himself, 1 versus 3, and he gets out without having to use anything besides a ward drop.
235 to 244 in the mid lane. Not too big of a discrepancy in CS there. 80 carries matching up quite evenly. Cop getting that ace in the hole kill on the Crumbs so far, which was a nice shutdown on 3 kills. So a bit of surge of gold there as that finished Phantom Dancer.
We need to start keeping a close track on vision. Everybody's changed out for sweepers here. However, not a lot of wards down deep for Curse in this Dignitas jungle. That's really going to hurt their ability to split push, as well as their ability for Dominate to pick people off with his ultimate. They really are going to try and outposition Dignitas. Both of these teams very similar in styles. Looking for those very quick kills in transition.
Well, Curse has done a very good job this game of not getting themselves into trouble after they do get ahead. Usually they'll get themselves into wanting too much, and then they crumble under that pressure of pushing themselves, even for just a blue buff after taking a dragon. Luckily, Dragon's on their side of the blue buff this time. They're safe. 23 minutes on to this. 3 turrets down on each side. That's the outer 3, so the second tiers still stand. and it still provide a diving turret for both teams.
So interesting here, as you know, Curse have that little bit of split push advantage, but Dignitas have the wave clear, really working for them with Shifter and Zion on those two APs, two AP players, both with AP builds. Each of them has great wave clear to sort of counteract this Curse situation where they've got Kale as well as Jax. It's really going to be all about these junglers, who gets the pick and who can actually get that kill early, because both of them are very much all in, and both of them are going to have to deal with defensive ults, either coming from Kale or coming from Lulu, to try and defend their targets.
Well, definitely seems like Dignitas is switching things up coming into this season. Two coaches on their side. It's been back and forth.
Again, Kiwi Kid going for the blind ward.
Uh-oh. I don't think the coach had that in mind. Good shield coming out. Also getting himself a bit of that summoner heal coming over from PewDiePie. He is throwing himself a Hail Mary right now, but it's not going to work or keep him alive long enough. 40 seconds on the clock there. Dignitas finds the move they want, pressuring Curse into a bad spot.
Kiwi Kid with the face check bait there. Now Dignitas have a bit better anti-dive, and they're able to keep Kiwi Kid alive. Boy got himself in a really bad spot, and it does cost an inhibitor.
Oh, the Kiwi gets in! It's special! Oh, he got himself killed as well! Oh, throws himself in the flame. It's a little too hot for the toes. Goes down quickly. A 3K gold lead in a matter of seconds as Dignitas opens up the map through the middle.
You might say that's unexpected, and with how quick it turned around from how slow it was going, but that's what happens when everybody in the game is building damage. Everybody is building damage here. There's so much damage on the field. If someone gets caught out of position for a second, they're dead.
Bomb.
And even if it's Braum jumping in there with the shield, Dominate doesn't want to take any piece of that culling, and a special goes down.
He's like, no thank you. 4 seconds on Dragon. That can be grabbed right after this dance is done. Baron goes down. They're actually quite low. They need to be careful here. But I don't think Curse is going to try to stretch themselves thin either. Dignitas making a big move. 25 minutes in.
Question now is, do they get the answered Dragon? If they don't get that consolation prize of the counter to Baron, the Dragon experience and gold that they desperately need, then they're going to be really far behind. They do go for it here, since Dignitas were a bit slow in their recalls. So at least there's that for Curse, and they will stay competitive. Now, as one-sided as that looked for Dignitas, it was really all about positioning, and Curse can easily still come back in this game. It's not out of reach for them just because they got a very commanding teamfight win, and because they already got that inhibitor. Yes, it's a great lead, but Curse still definitely have the damage to make a comeback. If they can catch somebody out of position and actually complete a kill on it and not have someone walk into the rest of the team, then they can easily
I don't know what you mean.
Turn the tables around.
Still good farm in that top and mid lane. Solo lane's really holding strong. 241 to 178. Dominate gave Quas a really good helping hand in the top lane, and Quas is somebody who can kind of carry that by himself. We've seen them then matching up after the few ganks for Quas to come out on top. Holy, as he finishes the Blade of the Rune King now. The AP Rabadon's is final. She finished up by Boy. May see more attack speed come in after that portion. But it's all up to really how much they can stop this Dignitas push now to the top lane.
Yeah, really. The test is now for the Curse wave clear. Curse's wave clear is a bit more dangerous
They're pretty spread
than
out,
that of Dignitas.
They're
they have to
not ready.
rely on Caitlyn and Kale, who can clear waves very quickly. Well, they don't want to defend this turret. They're trying to defend inhibitor ones, but they can clear waves very quickly. However, they do have to get fairly close in range. So it's a bit more scary for someone like Boy to be up there trying to clear this wave off. They're going to try and buy as much time as possible, but they aren't even comfortable defending 4 versus 5 and having Quas split push. They immediately call him back to base and try and set up that line of traps.
And this is quite big as well. We talked about a bit of the armor pen for Crumbs, but the last Whisper finished up for PewDiePie. No armor to be seen on the side of Curse just yet. It's going to be quite hard for them to really take any of these shots.
Yeah, everybody building damage, as we've said. There's a little bit of defense now coming in. Some Zanyas in the making.
Yeah.
For Zion there. He'll be looking to stay alive longer so that he can use his ulti on someone else and then rely on the item. However, This turret's taking a beating here, and Crumbs is actually trying to split push mid, which is very smart since he can use his ulti as a gap closer.
Right.
We'll see how long he's able to keep it up, though, and deny vision as well.
Special's trying to get Lockets of the Iron Solari finished, as well as facing the mountain, so he can throw out a little bit more help for the team. Quas doing what he can to stop these super minions that are now flooding into the base. This is going to be what they take, probably inhibitor after it as well. Bottom lane is not pushed up for Dig, so this is what they have their eyes on, to stranglehold Curse here and open up the map even more. Throw down the ultimate to deny vision. Do they really even want anything? It's just going to be for the scare. Dig flexes their muscles into the inhibitor turret and gets the inhibitor out of it.
What a beautiful combo there from Dig. They make it look so easy. Crumbs pops his vision denial, and Kiwi Kid walks right up, gets a hook right outside of that Fog of War, lands it easily onto Voyboy, killing the key component to Curse here, and Dignitas just make it look so easy.
They're walking themselves in, taking a bit of damage from the outside, but it looks like they can mitigate this just enough. Dominate throws the ult on, they know he's up, they know he's alive, but like you said, that key component with the intervention, the heals, Voyboy is down. And Curse has to rethink everything as they assess this fight. The grab again from Kiwi Kid just on the outside as they pepper the turret with more shots. The second Nexus turret goes down. Quas almost goes for broke as he does not dive into the fight. The rest of the team was going to the fountain. They push him out of base, but Curse, they're on their last breath here.
This is the second game in a row where we're seeing a Jax who actually got off to a good start. A Jax who's actually powerful, and the team's not able to even utilize him as a split pusher because the rest of their team, their 4-man squad, cannot hold. You can't just have one person be extremely strong and be the split pusher. The rest of the team has to be able to deal with the Dignitas force and the Dignitas shove, the dive. The wave clear just is not there for Curse. They're not able to support this very strong Jax, who's got almost 100 CS lead over his opponent.
Right.
You know, and people don't want to fight him 1 versus 1, but they don't have to. Dignitas do not have to opt into that situation. They're going to take the fight that is more advantageous to their team comp.
And we just saw Quas wanting to jump into that fight. That would have been a 4-person Counter-Strike inside the base, but Curse just kind of on the back foot.
Yeah, as we looked at in Champ Select, this is a hard team to dive on. Lulu, ulti, Zig, Thresh, and even with all those, there's so much damage on Curse that we've seen them take, you know, huge chunks out of like Kiwi Kid when he's face checking, but still very, very dangerous for Curse melee carries to get in there. Now they're down 2 inhibitors, so it's very easy to dig, for Dig to swing across the map.
Man.
Especially the last side.
And it gets so much scarier. Just look at that gold increase. The up and the down, and then just the up. Just when Dignitas knew they had a hold.
And basically these ups and downs are whenever the jungler is making a move for that team. You know, when it's Crumbs, full damage Nocturne going in, grabbing some kills and objective for his team. Or it's Dominate going for the assassinations.
Crumbs causing a little chaos on the left side just to draw attention, but that attention means that Cutie Pie gets shots on the turret. They're just causing chaos around the map, and it's enough to get the shots they need to move that much closer to the W on this game. 32 minutes on the clock has just ticked as the final inhibitor turret falls. Eyes on the inhibitor without any contest here. Dominate, he gets pulled right into the box. The intervention is on. That's the perfect way they wanted it, but they wanted it on their terms, and that's not how it's gonna happen this time. Dignitas starts to clean up.
Yeah, good game, Dignitas right there. Very, very commanding performance. With everybody building damage, it's all about positioning and split-second crowd control. Really, really well played, well executed from Dignitas there. And Team Curse, when you're running with Kale as your defense, it's all about timing. You have to get one of those intervention ultis to block a lot of initial damage. We weren't able to make it happen there.
32 minutes on the game, 10-5 and a 10,000 gold lead as Dig takes down Curse. Fantastically played game. You see a little more Nocturne, or I should say a little more Rengar play and Nocturne play, as the junglers have been getting hit a little bit this week. Brahms made his appearance in the games, getting a little bit of change up, and still seeing the top tier teams get their victories.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 carry junglers here. Neither of them go Feral Flare because it's been nerfed too hard. However, people that were worrying about having to go back to utility jungle, So that you don't have to worry any longer.